it's not. It's about like me feeling insecure and feeling less than and unworthy and not good enough. Like it's not about her. But
and him lying to you about it.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Yes. And so in my head, that's why I'm still like pissed to this day. Like it triggers me. It's crazy. Like I don't know how I'm not over it. But it's like the feelings of that I wasn't good enough to be chosen. Like at that time, like that night, like I asked you to come over, like, and then you sleep with me the night before and the night after, and I hang out with that girl and you don't say a word. How? Like in my head, I'm like, how did you do that to me? After forgiving you 3 days after hurting me with another girl, like, I'm like, I still to this day, like, have not let it go. Like, I can't. Like,
has he come fully clean about everything that's happened?
Okay, and he's apologized and he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I know I hurt you. I was in it. It was the gray area. Like, he didn't owe me that, right? Like, and yes, he could go do that. And that's what sucks. And that's like, he didn't cheat or anything.
It's the chosen part.
Yeah.
He made you look like a fool.
Yes, and not only that, but I forgave you for the first one.
Well,
and then
I mean, you didn't look like a fool, but you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like it felt, here you are hanging out with the girl the next day. She knows, you don't. And like anyone in that position.
The day she didn't know. She called him that night because she heard me name drop him.
Okay, that should feel better.
So she hears me name drop. They're like, are you saying anyone? I was like, I don't even think I said his name. I was like, yeah. And then she digged and got his name that it was him. Yeah. So she calls him. You seeing Taylor? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, how serious is it? I don't know what he tells her on the phone on the way to my house. Like, I dig and I dug and I got, details I didn't want to know. And I think it hurt because just the lies of it. And I was already like dead inside, like dying, like of everything else. And so that on top of it was like, whoa, yeah, you don't care about my feelings at all. Like,
do you feel like there's a piece of you that can relate to Dakota not choosing you that night because you didn't choose your husband that night?
It's my karma. Absolutely. I feel like God is like, this is like your punishment for what you did to your spouse. You're going to feel what you did. So yes, I have like sat in that and been like, I deserve this pain. I still to this day, I'm like, every pain I feel like you deserve it. Like in my head, I'm like, good.
At some point, you're gonna have to
let it go.
Yeah,
I know.
And I can't imagine how hard this is to relive. Mm-hmm. I imagine this was a very dark night and something you don't want to think about or talk about often. And I completely understand that.
Yeah.
But I guess I remember seeing it online. And yeah, I would like to know how it got to the point it did. Like, walk us through that night.
Yeah. I feel like it was a build up, so not just that night. This is post. I had an ectopic a few months prior.
Wow.
And then I had a chemical pregnancy. So obviously don't want to blame hormones, but I will put that into account. Like I am pretty like whack.
What's a chemical pregnancy?
It's where you lose it so early that like you don't even notice, like most of the time.
But your body is kind of operating as if you're pregnant.
Yes, like you get pregnancy tests and then it just goes, you're not anymore. Okay. So I knew because I had taken one and I was, and then I wasn't. So they're like, you probably just lost it really early. So I was like, okay. I'm crying to the whole way home of like, I hate my life. Like, I'm like saying sorry. Like, I'm so sorry to my family. Like hysterically sad. And like crying. And I think because the alcohol had taken down that guard, like I could finally feel. And so it was so sad. Then I was so sad. And then I get home and I think about like what Dakota had like put on that. And like, it's not his fault, but like, I'm like wanting to cling to something. So I like blame him. Like, I hate you. Like, I'm so angry and, projecting on him. And I'm like throwing things. I remember like throwing things and I don't know my daughter's on the couch. Like, I had no idea. Like we had babysitters there. So I think they're upstairs sleeping. And so like, I just like started throwing things.